Hi, this is Mike Brightman with Brightman Designs, and today we're going to take a look at these model types and how to actually build these 3D model types in SketchUp. And so what we're looking at here is a render-ready design model. And so we're going to show you in these tutorials how to go from this image right here using Match Photo and some tips and tricks in SketchUp and basically develop it. We'll develop it into a photo textured existing conditions model and then move it into a render ready existing conditions model and then ultimately work on the final design model, and that's what we're showing here. So the advantage of this is that you can produce a design packet off of just some photographs of a building. So if you have a project where you're not sure if you're going to get the job, or maybe you need to convince the client to move in a certain direction without spending a lot of time measuring and drafting and getting ready, these techniques will help you get to that end result, something like this, very quickly. So during this tutorial, this will be an advanced tutorial. I'm assuming that you are familiar with the basic navigation, tools, and organization in SketchUp. So I'll be moving a little bit quicker than maybe a normal step-by-step tutorial, but you'll have all the files to kind of keep up and open those as each step goes along. And then when we get to the end of this tutorial, we then transition into Lumion, and I'm going to show you how to pull this SketchUp model into Lumion and produce even more refined photoreal visualizations and presentation content. So first thing, let's just talk briefly about the design challenge that we're up against. So we're going to set up, this is a photograph of that building. So I actually went out to the site, and let's look at that real quick. Over here, we've got our site is at Elizabeth and Bruce Randolph in Denver. And so here's the building. It's an old auto repair yard. And so let's check out our street view. We can just drag our street view guy on here, and we'll just drop him there. Alright, so there's the building. Scoot down here a little bit. So I use Google Street View quite a bit just to kind of get around and take a look at the building and see what's going on with the site and everything. And so pretty standard issue, abandoned auto repair shop here in Denver. And so we are going to propose that a gastropub, kind of this high-end food and eatery and brewery type restaurant concept. So those seem to be popping up quite a bit. So let's just take a look at how you can build that model off of these photographs and produce a design. So what I did first is I went out to the site, walked around the site, took a picture from every angle I possibly could, because no matter what, if you're building a photo textured model, it is inevitable that you will have a little corner of the building that you miss. So I always recommend take as many photographs as you possibly can. And it's always good if you can get in there to take some more detailed photos, like for instance, like a nice shot of this block wall. Yeah, so that's kind of the idea. If I could have gotten in there, I probably would have taken a close-up of the brick, because the brick looks like it could be salvaged. And just keep in mind every angle of the model, and that way when you're working on these things late at night, you don't need to either stop work or take a trip back to the site. So that's kind of the setup of the design problem. We're going to use Match Photo, and we're going to build a 3D photo textured model using these photographs, and it's going to be properly scaled, and it's going to be built to relatively accurate dimensions. And then we're going to transition that into a render ready model and then build our proposed design off of that. So check out the next tutorial to move on forward.